Good morning, my fellow self-care homies. This is Asher. Welcome to my channel, Homebrew Healing, and another installment of the daily CBT series that I'm running. I know I've said this for probably the past 3 days or so, but again, we have a perfect card of the day for kind of how I'm doing. I know that some of you saw this video because I manage the channel and I can see that there were a certain number of views. So I uploaded my first pole dancing video yesterday. This is something that I've only been learning how to do for literally the last week. And a few of those days I couldn't really practice because I hurt myself. And I did it again. I should probably introduce the card of the day first before getting into the story. So today's card of the day is, should I worry? And one of the reasons it is sometimes hard to let go of worry, besides the fact that, like many things in our lives, it can become a pattern or habitual, is because we do believe on some level that, that we should be worrying about something, or that these worries sometimes serve some kind of greater good. And to a degree that can be true. Anxiety reactions can very much be intended as beneficial, in the sense that, your body is maybe trying to alert you of a potential threat, even if there is no actual threat. So today's card is kind of asking us to try to bring an awareness to any worries that we might be experiencing, and just allowing ourselves the permission to let go of those worries. Is because, first of all, I was nervous about posting this pole dancing video to begin with, because in order to dance on a pole, you do have to be mostly naked, especially for someone who's as inexperienced as I am. If you try and do any of the spins with clothes making contact, you're just going to slide right off. So, there's a lot of my body being seen publicly, which I don't really do. And, I'm not a good dancer, and the nature of the dancing, is scandalous, I guess. So, there was a certain level of nervousness, worry about how this video might be received. Especially because I think when people think about pole dancing, they think about stripping, they think about sex. And certainly one of the things that I love about pole is it is a great confidence boost. You do really feel yourself. And, I think it's a beautiful thing. But even more than that, it is a huge confidence boost because it is a crazy hard workout. I did Muay Thai for a year. Like hour and a half, 2 hour long classes. This thing is kicking my ass more than Muay Thai did. At least in some areas of the body, but that also, maybe I'm not doing it right. So I kind of had to make a judgment call on whether my worries outweighed, my pride, I guess, about something that I feel like I had accomplished and wanted to share. And I kind of decided that I guess my own view of myself is more important to me than what other people might think. And I do feel that video is relevant to the channel to a degree. Right now we're engaging with the CBT series, where we're currently looking at thoughts and thought patterns, but a huge component of mental health is physical health. Whatever that looks like for you. And for me, pole dancing it's my current hyperfixation. I love it. It's a great workout. It's fun. I have tried so many workouts that were not fun. They felt like work. Pole dancing is fun. It hurts. I have bruises in many places. I'm getting blisters on my hands. But I love it. It's so much fun. And it is so good for my mind and my body. And I do think whether people opt to watch those videos or not, and whether people opt to engage with something like pole dancing or not, that these videos are important and relevant to this channel in the sense that, I do want to encourage people to explore physical fitness in whatever capacity that looks like. Things like yoga and jogging and Muay Thai and now pole dancing have done wonders for my mental health and my self-confidence, my sense of security with myself. After we finished moving through the CBT series about whether or not we should be worrying, there will be an emphasis to some degree on physical health. I think it's important to take a holistic approach to our healing. And my approach is, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. I firmly believe in empirical evidence and evidence-based programs, theories, supports, which is why I opted to start with something like, cognitive behavioral therapy. But as far as my own personal growth and self-healing has been concerned, it has been much more than therapy and therapeutic approaches. There has been a huge component of mindfulness, meditation, yoga, in my case a lot of spirituality as well. I'm one of those weirdos who runs around with rocks in their pockets. I've literally got some silky quartz, rose quartz, and lapis lazuli sitting beside me. I read tarot. I don't read tarot for necessarily the intention or purpose of fortune telling, so much as more of a Jungian, Carl Jung approach, in the sense that I like to try and use it as a self-reflection tool to, see if there's maybe some components of a situation or myself that I don't want to see or deal with, or I'm not correctly seeing or dealing with. It can help introduce a new perspective in a similar way to how I've started engaging with shadow work problems, where, I am trying to very honestly ask myself some really intense questions. Some about childhood, some about other people, and parts of yourself that you see in them that maybe you do or don't think. So, anyway, that's my justification for why there's a pole dancing video on my channel, and why there will be more. But I am going to give myself permission today not to worry about it, because ultimately, I feel good about it. And the reality is that even if this wasn't a video about something like pole dancing that is a little taboo, even if it was something that was maybe not even a little bit controversial, the reality is that there's always going to be critics. There's always going to be people who are making judgments, right or wrong, about, other people's lives and choices. And ultimately, we have to make the decision to live for ourselves in a compassionate manner, I would hope, of course. But really, it's our lives. It's our choices. And worrying about either a situation that we can't control, the outcome or time period of, or worrying about, the judgments and thoughts of other people is not going to serve us. What we should be worrying about is whether or not we're being authentic to ourselves. Because really, you're the person you're going to wind up with. You are your one true love. And the more that we can recognize and appreciate that, and for me that really started with being more authentic in how I was living, and living more of a life that I could take pride in, the less we're going to be worrying about other people's thoughts about us. But for today, I challenge and empower you to just try and bring an awareness to anything that you happen to find yourselves worrying about today. And just allow yourself the permission to let it go. As always, I would love to read about your experiences in the comments. I am really looking forward to seeing you all next time. Until tomorrow, folks. Ciao for now.